Welcome to the Overflow Worship Podcast, where we serve and support leaders so you can serve and support your local church.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Overflow Worship Podcast. I'm your host, Andrea Olson, and this is a really special episode. Usually we release twice a month on the second and fourth Monday, but as you're probably realizing, today is not a second or fourth Monday. We are doing a special release because I have something really exciting that I want to talk to you about. This one's going to be short, sweet, and to the point, so you can take a listen while you're driving in the car and then get on with your day. But here's the thing, Easter is coming. And if you listened to the episode that came out last week with my friend Josh Watt, we talked all about Easter and the importance of prepping in advance. And so what I've done for you is I've put together a done for you Easter set list. And if you remember back from Christmas, I did this for Christmas as well, for Advent actually, and the Sundays leading up to Advent and Christmas Eve. And it was so fun. We got such a great response from people. And so it's something that I see as needed and helpful. And that's really my heart, you guys. I just want to provide things for you that are helpful and add value into your lives and what you're doing and help and support you in the ministries that you're serving in. And so I've created a done for you Easter set list. And so what I've done is I put together 4 different set lists with consideration to different communities. So one of the set lists has more traditional approach, some hymns, etc. Some of them have very new, more recent songs. There's some with new songs that have just come out. So if you like to introduce brand new music, there's a set list for that. Basically, I just try to consider, what would I do for the congregation that I serve? I would want something that is relevant to the community, something that they that they know, some songs that they know, and then maybe some new ones if that's something we do frequently. But I wanted to pull in old, current, and just give you guys a blend. And so what I've also done is I have put the best female key and the best male key for each one, and hopefully that helps you in your process of planning. Some churches do kind of a co-leading approach where you might have 2 or 3 different people that lead out on songs in one set. Some churches have the same leader in every set, and so it's really easy to mix and match that with this set list plan. And so I hope that it's helpful. I hope that it's a blessing, because here's the thing. Here's why we're giving this to you now and why I'm so excited about it, because we still have time. It's still several weeks to Easter. And so you have an opportunity to take this, think about it, listen to the songs, hop on YouTube. We have a special private playlist with all of the songs in succession on YouTube, so you can kind of get a feel for the versions that I'd recommend. And you can then pray about it, and maybe there's a portion. Maybe you don't take and plug and play this whole thing, but maybe it's like, oh, that's a new song I want to check out and I want to use. Or, oh, I never thought about using those 2 songs together. I'm just going to pull those 2 and use that. And this gives you a starting point. So maybe you don't plug and play it. Maybe you use pieces of it. But my hope is that it's so helpful for you as you're on your Easter preparation journey, because it is a journey. There's a lot to think about. There's production, there's bands, there's, lights, and there's live stream, and there's just the whole service as a whole. Maybe your entire Easter service is different flow-wise than normal. And so you have to think about that. And so this gives you something to go off of. And I think it's amazing because you could bring it to your leadership team or your senior pastor, whatever the structure looks like in your community. And you could say, hey, here's some ideas. What are you thinking for the Easter service? Are you wanting to change the flow? And that gives you the opportunity to have a conversation starting point with your leadership. And like Josh talked about in the podcast that released last week, and side note, if you didn't listen to it, go back and listen to it, because Josh has amazing wisdom and insight to give on Easter preparation. But as we talked about last week, it's important to view this through the lens of coming alongside of the leadership and supporting them. So supporting the vision that's already there. So before you plan your set list, before you take this and say, all right, this is the one I'm going to use, bring it to your leadership and say, hey, look at this. I'm thinking about using one of these in in part or using it as a whole? What do you think? How does this support your vision? And it's a conversation starter. So how do you get this thing? All you have to do is head to overflowresource.com/setlist. And you will be prompted to enter in your name, your email, and then the set list will automatically be emailed to you. So that's all you got to do. It's super easy and it's free. There's no charge or anything like that. Just head to overflowresource.com/setlist and you'll be prompted to do what you need to do and you'll get it in your inbox. Now, something else that I wanted to tell you about that is coming up in the first part of March. So you've got to wait just a little bit. But you're going to want to be on the email list for this, okay? Because this is only going out to our email subscribers. But there's going to be a special invitation to a Zoom meeting with me, and we can strategize together as a group. I will have questions and ideas and prompts and, a conversation guide, but it's an opportunity for you to bring your questions or to say, hey, if I was going to use Setlist 2 in its entirety, how would you suggest transitions? Or how would you suggest I direct the band? Or, any of those kind of tactical questions, we're going to do that on Zoom, but the invitation's only going out to our email list. So you want to be on that list. And the way you do that is just like I said before, you can go to overflowresource.com/setlist and enter in your email so that you're for sure to get the set list, but then you'll be on our list. So you'll get the invitation to this Zoom meeting that's coming up real soon. So anyways, I'm super excited about this, friends, and I hope that it's a blessing to you. Like I said before, my goal with providing and creating all of these resources is that it adds value to what you're doing, that it just adds value back into you and encourages you and lifts you up and gives you the tools that you need to do your job well. And I'm always available as a resource for you. I love strategizing. I love answering questions. So don't hesitate to reach out on social media. You can find me at Andrea Olson Music. You can hop on to the Overflow worship page or the Overflow resource page. We have a lot of places that we're active, but if you start with me at Andrea Olson Music, you'll definitely be able to find all the other arms of the organization as well. But I love having conversations with people who listen to the podcast, who have questions, who are in ministry, or just hearing from you in general. So make sure you reach out, make sure you stay in touch because I'm here for all of you guys. All right, that is it. Short, sweet, and to the point. This Easter set list done for you is a gift from me to you. So I hope that's a blessing. I hope that it's helpful. And we will see you back here next week for our regularly scheduled podcast, which is going to be awesome. You're not going to want to miss this conversation that's releasing next week.
You've been listening to the Overflow Worship Podcast. If you enjoy our podcast, please take a moment and leave us a 5-star rating and a written review, which helps us reach more people. New episodes are released every other Monday. So until next time, thank you for listening.